Hi everyone, my name is Aminat Akani, and this video is going to be on my family tree assignment. First, I'm going to start off talking about my grandma, whose name is Ruth Doris Spears, but everyone called her Doris because that's what she wanted to refer to her as, and she did not like anyone calling her grandma at all because it made her feel old, and she didn't want no one saying that around her or in front of anyone. And she had 9 children plus one. The 10th child was actually her husband's niece, who he adopted legally into the family. So that made his niece their child by paperwork. She was born August 14th, 1938. She survived racism, inequality, separation, and unequal rights. She was the fifth out of 8 children. Her husband, one of her husbands, who was my grandfather, John Freeman Hollis, he died while serving our country. He also fought in World War II. He was in the Navy, and that's where he died at, in the Navy, serving our country. Back then, they didn't have regular schooling like we do to this day, of course, due to racism, because the city that she resided in, which was Kannapolis, North Carolina, was very racist, and they didn't allow colored people to be in the schools, and if they did, they were discriminated, and they would like mistreat them, and they also wasn't even really learning anything. They had to learn at home. My great grandma, who actually was a slave, is what my great grandma Flossie was a slave, and she had to basically teach them and teach her children inside the household, and that's the way that they learned because they didn't really go to school, so they had to learn on their own. My grandma never been incarcerated or locked up for anything, even though she was very sweet, but she was kind of mean though. But she has her reasons as to why she was mean, but she's also a very sweetheart. In later years, she became very, very ill. She had Parkinson's disease and dementia, and she passed away May 2014. She had 5 boys and 4 girls, and 30 grandchildren, and I would say about 7 out of 9 of her children were addicted to drugs and narcotics. They arrested for stealing drugs, drug paraphernalia, robbery, and DWIs, and also about 5 or 7 out of 9 of her children gave birth to babies that were addicted to narcotics. And 3 out of 5 of my uncles recently passed away. Randy passed away May 2017, and then a few months later, my uncle Benny, aka Boo Rao, he passed away as well. And then my uncle Ty recently passed away September 3rd, 2018. And my uncle Ty also was in the Navy, and he fought in the war from 1980 to 1990. And they all passed away due to natural causes and suddenly. So now I'm going to fast forward and talk about my mom and her children. My mom was born May 1st, 1970, and she also has a twin brother named Carl. She has 5 children, 3 boys and 2 girls. I'm the youngest. We were all born and half raised in Detroit, Michigan, and then also raised in Kannapolis, North Carolina, where most of us reside now to this day. My sister, who is the oldest, she is married with 3 children. Her and her husband both had a child before they were married, before they married each other, and then they had a child together who was their youngest child, and his name is Derek, but we call him DJ. My oldest brother just recently had triplets. He had 2 girls and 1 boy. My second oldest brother, he just recently had 1 boy named Carter, and he was born in June over this past summer. And then my third brother and me, we don't have any children. All 3 of my brothers have been incarcerated, and 2 of them are currently incarcerated now. One of them is out and working and taking care of his son and doing better with life. And they were all incarcerated due to just simple things. Some are misdemeanors, some were felonies. And then My family has been affected and influenced by social systems because my family members have been married, had families, extended and blended families. They were incarcerated, they experienced racism, fought in wars such as World War II. And a few of my family members also have served the country. And some of them have been divorced as well. And some of them are working for the community. Some of them have high paying jobs. Some of them have low paying jobs. And so that is how they're all going. That's how they are all influenced by the social systems and the environment. So that is about all. And that ends this video.